6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shelby's World Live taking off. Questions will be answered cause the queen get it off. Unity is for the black and brown community. Conversation without scrutiny. Hey, we speak from a place of power, no coward. We just making sure the truth isn't overpowered. Black goddess, black queen, no in between. Radio podcast to the big screen. Her smile is everything, can light up a room. She say what she means, that's why we're in tune. Grown woman handles her biz like it is. Discipline, a role model for the kids. Nothing was given, everything she earned. She sat back and learned, and now it's her turn. So stop on by, comment, subscribe. Each and every Wednesday, SW Live.
Shelby's World Podcast. Shelby's World.
Shelby's World Podcast. Shelby's World. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another Wednesday. Welcome back. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? It's a new day. We in it though. We have if you have made it this far right here, you have made it to a good part of your day, unless you're still at work. If you're not at work, you are comfortable, you are in a state of peace, and you're feeling good, you're feeling better. First and foremost, yes, welcome to a new day, welcome back, welcome to another episode. I just wanted to ask though, how has the Mercury retrograde been treating y'all? Have y'all been feeling it? Have y'all been noticing it? Have you even noticed that it was going on? Because it's definitely been on my behind. So I just want to ask y'all, how y'all feeling? Has it been something that y'all have paid attention to? Did y'all know it was even happening? So yeah, today we have we're just gonna be talking a little bit today about what's been happening in the culture, some of the things that affect us, some things that are going to bring you peace of mind, dating, single, where you at with it, and some pet peeves. We're gonna just discuss a couple of things today because I want to get y'all point of view on a couple of things. I want to see what my audience feels. I want to understand where y'all mindset is with a couple of things. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk today. We're just gonna chat a little bit and feel each other out. But I do have a couple of things to throw out as far as known pet peeves that people have either shared with me, that are research-wise, things that came up in my research, and just things that we know that have bothered others that we know. So, it kind of is conditional pet peeves as well. As we're going to talk about that. And then when we discuss the being single part, that's a part of the conversation that is mostly for the single people, because and I don't even want to say it's for people that might be separated, because I don't know yet, because you still have a reconciliation time that you can have. You can probably still work on some of your things if you're not fully divorced or y'all haven't completely separated. So I don't want to be talking to people who may be going through something like that. I just want to focus today with that conversation on the actual single people. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the Howards and their situation that's going on. And we're going to talk about also what happens after y'all involve the authorities in a relationship matter, in a family matter. We're going to talk about stuff like that, because these are things that I've been seeing recently involving the culture. Okay. So quote of the day. Let's do that first and foremost. Pisces are the great chameleons of the zodiac. They often survive through the art of camouflage. Being that we're still in Pisces season, your girl is a Pisces, so I do have a little bit of references and repertoire that I can add to that conversation. But being that is first, I want to say it's very, very true about a lot of Pisces. You can't always bottle us up and put us in a pot, just like you can't with any other sign. You're going to have things that hit or miss situations in all categories of the zodiac. But what I would say is that because of the caring charismaticness that we hold and we have, and the nurture that we have for people, we can definitely camouflage what's really going on with us for the sake of making sure that who we need to be and who we need to show up as is always prevalent. I'll say that. So yes, we can be chameleons. We know how to fall in the back. We know how to fall behind. We know how to just chill and just get out of the way. Because for one, a lot of us are not spotlight people. I've been learning more and more as I get older that I'm becoming more of the introverted side of the Pisces. I'm kind of reverting back to kind of how I was younger, like growing up with my introvert side, but my extrovert side is still prevalent. It's for the things that I need to show up and do. So I'll say that. But yeah, this is very, very true about the Pisces sign, that we can definitely be chameleons, and when we can be chameleons in any atmosphere. We can show up in any atmosphere, and we can stand in the paint anywhere. It doesn't take us much to do what we need to do. Hello, Ariel. How you doing, Miss Lady? How are thy? Hope all is well. Happy spring and welcome in. So yeah, we're gonna jump to the show. That's our quote of the day. Quote of the day again: Pisces are the great chameleons of the zodiac. They often survive through the arts of camouflage, and we're gonna keep it moving. That's what we do. So yes, like I said, we're gonna discuss a little bit about pet peeves and everything. I'm well. I'm glad, and I know the family is. If you are, that means the family is, because the mother of the house definitely makes sure that the family is going to be taken care of. The father going to protect, but the mother going to take care of the house. Hello, Jada. What's happening, my girl? Welcome to the show. Another episode of the show. Y'all, we on episode number 278. I don't know what number we're going to completely be on by the time we get to the 1 year anniversary show. I don't know exactly the show number, but to be on 278 though, yeah, that's a lot of shows. That's a lot of shows. I mean, I've been talking my ass off, ain't it? I've been talking up something. Pet peeves. So we all have them. And I'm going to share some of the general ones that I've kind of encountered or that I've heard about and that from others that they have said and discussed. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely in discuss. Yes, ma'am, to the consistency. You got it. That's purely dedication. I love it. This is what I love to do, Jared. This is what I love to do. So I'm definitely enjoying this ride. Loud chewing. The crunching, smacking, those are things that has been that was like a number one. And these lists are places that I kind of, I can't say that about all of them, but the ones that I will put on here the ones that I'm going to speak of are definitely from a poll of 100 people for this, and the majority of them went with that as their number one, is that they felt like loud chewing and open mouth eating was the worst pet peeve that they have. That's one of the ones that they that most people in that crowd agreed upon. 50% of them agreed that they hate that. And I know a lot of people have an issue with loud chewing and open mouth eating because it's smacking. Like, what are we, like animals? Close your mouth. And especially in certain areas and certain places, like certain pet peeves are mostly things that bother people especially when they're around other people, because people can, deal with a person when they're on one accord, or if they, but when y'all be out and about and you don't know how to tuck that pet peeve in for the sake of the fact that we are in a public setting, you're not home, so certain things you do have to put in you got to use in certain atmospheres. Being late is hugely frowned upon, whether for work, a date, casual meeting. Lateness feels very disrespectful of another person's time. It's not considerate. It's just not, it's rude. It's very blatantly rude. So being late is just not It's not something you just want to. You don't want to be known for being that person. You don't want to be known for being late. You want to at least have that channeling of I can be on time. Show some because if you're gonna be late, sometime be late less than you are on time. At least do that. I have a dude that I know that will say and I like the saying because he'll say if you're gonna do bad, do what he say? Hold on, wait, let me think about that real quick because it's if you're gonna do bad, do good in the bad. You know what I'm saying? You gotta at least have some, you gotta have some right in that bad. You can't just be out here just willy-nilly. So at least have some consideration in what you're doing wrong. So being late, take some consideration of it. Not covering your coughs and sneezes, just like, and that's not just a person who is a germaphobe that has issues with that. People have an issue with that in general. That's nasty to just be sneezing and coughing all over people like you're not in the room amongst others. Cover your mouth. I have to show up early because that is something I can be bad about. I'm speaking from experience. That's why that I know that I have worked on that. I'll get better and better with time. That's why I said it's definitely frowned upon. It's definitely frowned upon. Scraping plates and loud noises, and and the one that tags along with that is eating off someone's plate. Like not opening your mouth. You just putting your fork over there and nobody welcomed you in. Like that's rude. And people do that. So, and like I said, when you think about some of these things that people have, it's really like moral things that they're like, you don't know this. You don't know that you shouldn't be doing that. That's kind of how people look at that when there's things that they just feel like you should already have the structure in, you should have the obedience in, you should have the knowledge of how to do certain things. So people will frown upon that. You sticking your hand on somebody else's plate like you like, I don't know. It feels to me like you feel like it's okay to do that. Not that you don't mind that you weren't welcomed in. You just feel like I know this person, so it's fine. That's kind of how it kind of comes off. Burping in public places and not covering your mouth or not saying excuse me, of course. Reply all emails. In the workplace, a reply all email is detrimental. That's very much so frowned upon. That's a professional courtesy. And this was one of the ones that I knew. This was one of the ones that was actually on the poll. It's so unprofessional to hit reply all. I think people who do that trying to get somebody in trouble, unless in general, you're supposed to reply to everybody because everybody needs to be in the know. But if this is something that you know that you should probably just reply to that person with, please skip the reply all segment. Please don't do that. Don't do that. It's more than a pet peeve. That's just professional courtesy. It's just professional courtesy. Unless you got something wrong with your legs or you're an older person, why are you walking slow? Why are you walking slow? 20% of people say walking slow irritates their soul. So that's a pet peeve for some people, y'all. So if you got people that will just zoom past you while you walking or be on you close trying to get past you, just get out their way. Just move around, move along, because you don't want any other disruptions because that's really rude. I don't know. Group text, constant notifications and endless replies. Vaping indoors, especially in non-smoking areas. Now, I think any place where it's a lot of people in public smoking just in general or vaping in general is just rude in concept. It's just a rude theory to do, unless you just got if they've provided a smoking area for you, go in the smoking area. We're gonna do that all the time. Why not? Like, why would you be blowing smoke and stuff and vaping amongst people? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we doing this amongst people? I do not understand that. I didn't even know you were allowed to do that, Ariel. I was like, y'all can vape inside? Like, this real? I never knew that. I had no idea that vaping was permissible. When they stopped letting people smoke in the restaurants, I thought all that went out the window. So I had no idea you could vape inside. But that is obviously a big thing. Another thing that was high on the list was 30% of people said that not closing cabinets was a big deal for them. They hate when they walk in and his cabinets open. Using no offense before saying something hurtful. This was the same 30% of people. I mean, this was like equal. If you're going to offend somebody, what's the point of even saying no offense? Are you just trying to you warning people that you about to say something offensive? If that's the case, then I feel that. But to say no offense, knowing that you're about to offend somebody, that's crazy. Cashiers not being cashiers. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That was a huge deal with a lot of people. Actually, the cashiers not being cashiers. You just like, you don't know nothing, because just because you're a cashier doesn't mean you shouldn't know anything about what else is happening in the store. So professional common courtesy is very important. If you don't know, definitely, respond to that person and say, hey, I don't have the answer to that, but I will try my best to go find it. Give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? That courtesy is super, super important. That courtesy is super, super important, because a lot of us don't know a lot of things, especially you could just be starting, or you just may not have the knowledge of where things are. So having that conversation and being telling people is very good. It's very reasonable, and it should be happening. That's what they're supposed to be teaching y'all in Customer Service 101. What's up, my girl, Miss Fancy Nancy? It's another Pisces person. Just had a birthday this week. It's good to see you, sister. Good to see you. So yes, now we're gonna talk about the Howards. The Howards. We've been seeing them a lot though. We've been seeing them a lot lately, because it's only been like a year and some change that they've been together. So in that process, we've seen a lot. And let's get into it. This past weekend was crazy. Amy Luciano, who is an IG and YouTube content creator, she's Mozzie's ex. She used to have a YouTube segment with her boyfriend before on I forget what it was called, but it was a YouTube show her and Mozzie had. But she has now gotten filed for divorce by her current husband, who is Dwight Howard, after going live allegedly accusing him of being on that dust and having the product in hand herself, pouring it back into the bag, and then what looked like a wiping it off by her hand and almost sniffing it herself. There's a lot happened in that video. We don't know if she sniffed it. Now, I don't want y'all going out saying anything like that, but according to Us Weekly, the former NBA star Dwight Howard has filed for divorce from his wife, Amy Luciano, on Monday. This is recently, this Monday, citing irrecoverable. He said that the marriage is irretrievably broken with no hope of reconciliation. That's what I was trying to say first. No reconciliation first. And I'm just laughing because I'm saying reconciliation and irretrievably broken at the same time. But yes, it went down, right? In the car. And she got this big old bag of, substance. And this is what, is breaking up my marriage, etc., etc. Why would she have the powder in hand? That's a very good question. But I'm going to tell you something. Listen to this part though. It's going to let you, it gets even more interesting because I'm going to read you what she said happened. This filing marks the third divorce petition in the couple's brief marriage. Howard previously filed for divorce in June, but the case was dismissed. Luciani then turned around and filed a petition for divorce in July, which was also dismissed, according to the outlet. The couple went public with their relationship in December 2024. They got married on January 11, 2025. They do not share any children. So in her clip going live and in this manic depressive state, she stated she was saying that the reason why her marriage is constantly breaking up is because of the drugs. I don't know why the drugs had to follow her to the car or be brought with her to the car or whatever happened with that situation. But they said that earlier in the marriage, this is the reason why she filed, because the latest filing comes from Luciano made accusation against Howard during an Instagram live session, claiming he struggled with drug addiction and alleging that Child Protective Services removed his daughter from their home. He has 5 children. Earlier in the marriage, Luciano filed a family violence protection order against Howard. This is where another portion of it happens right here. Okay. It was like 3 divorce filings. Now remember, keep up. Okay. In court documents obtained by Us Weekly, she claimed there was an established pattern of behavior by Dwight involving acts of family violence, and alleged her husband had a pattern of continued substance abuse, which has caused family violence in the past. And they granted her the custody because they said he was accused of drugging her and becoming physical during an argument. Okay, this is where we are now. So she got married too fast, trying to show Mozzie she moved on. Jada, get out of here, okay? Get out of here, but hey, that's very, very is point worthy. How do you dismiss a divorce filing? Okay, they didn't dismiss the divorce filing. They dismissed the charges that she was trying to say that happened during her filing for the divorce. So they dismissed the charges because she decided not to press charges any further. But you can go up and say, no, I no longer want to have a divorce though. If you decide that you do it, you go and do the petition, then you turn around and change your mind. You go in again, come back, change your mind. It's possible. It has happened. But the point of this is 1 year together. All this happening within December 2024 and current. This is current year, March 2026. We're not even 2 years in. And y'all done filed for divorce 3 times. Each one of y'all, twice you, whatever. I don't care. Twice him, 1 you, whatever. And it's drugs in the picture. And the way she came out there doing all that right there, it looked to me like she was, I don't know what it looked like to y'all. Because I was a little bit unhinged. I was like, this unhinged. This is unhinged. Amy, what's happening? You are spiraling. And she got she's a pretty huge YouTube girl. And she's, I think she does like this little wig thing or something like I don't remember exactly what it was she did, but I do know that I remember her from her being with that guy, with Mozzie. And if that was her point, trying to prove anything to Mozzie, honey, baby, y'all got to learn how to be still and let life finish with y'all and get yourself healed and do the things you're supposed to do, because you cannot think that everything is about just moving on dramatically fast. You cannot. That's crazy. So yeah, that's what happened with the Howards this past weekend. It was, to me, it's not over. It's gonna be some other stuff that come out. But I'm gonna tell y'all on the flip side, Royce Reed was over there on IG celebrating all weekend. It'd be real different when people get to feel and show that everything it'd be like happiness for them, because now they like, I've been trying to tell y'all. But that girl said all that though, and they call her bitter, upset, and I might think it might be some other stuff, some truth to any of the other accusations that they said about her, but she did not lie about that. She did not lie about that, because that was one of the accusations that she put out, that was happening with him. A lot of that was going on with him. So I don't know. But yeah, moving on. That's what's going on with the Howards. We'll see what progresses in the media with their situation, because it ain't over with. It definitely ain't over with. It ain't over with. Oh, I think I done hit my nose or something with my bracelet, doing all this right here that Amy was doing. I seen that trend. I was like, golly, she's in a pattern over here of trying to embarrassing this whole situation, making it like, oh, girl, sit down. But she definitely was. She definitely felt that she was that was her time to shine. We do too much sometimes, but she definitely felt like that was her time to shine. She got to get her. That was her vengeful spirit kicking in right then. I don't know. To me, that's what that was. She definitely needed to chill, because you still have a child with this man. Y'all be doing a whole lot of stuff for people y'all got children with. I really hit my nose with this thing. I thought it was something coming out, but it's not now. But anyhow, being single and at peace. Wait, who got what we got right here? We got a comment. Let me see what the comments say. Her celebrating while someone else was down made me recall when Royce herself was in trouble with CPS for her son that was molesting younger kids. I ain't know we was gonna say that, Treen. Oh my God, Treen. Treen. Nah, Treen, she was trying to warn Amy 2 years ago. She said she did tell Amy 2 years ago about that, but she definitely did that in a very, very untactful manner. I felt like if it was going to be said or done or anything that was going to come after that, it could have been like, Amy, I understand I understand what you may be going through, stuff like that. Sometimes. Or not say nothing at all, because sometimes not saying anything is the best thing to do. She just want to look crazy with it. That's why she needed to shut. On. It was a lot. It was a lot this weekend, though. It was a lot. But the whole, I don't know. I think I just didn't really like the whole going live in the car. With that situation right there was a lot for me. I like rolling up on that and seeing that coming across my IG. I was like, wait a minute, this is going on right now? This serious? This happening? I don't know it, because I actually like Amy as a content girl. So to see her having to go through that and and see her put herself in that situation, I don't know what was happening to make her run to the car to do it. I don't know. We're not there. We weren't there to witness that. And I don't want to know. I don't want to be there. But what I will say is that I just hated that it had to happen. And then you're on live doing it. We have literally turned the internet into our diaries. And to me, that's an issue. You cannot take everything to the internet. Like, we didn't know y'all was going through all of that. We know it was some up and downs with this divorce stuff. We know that was happening, but we didn't have to know the ins and outs behind all that other stuff. That was between y'all and y'all's circle. Some of the stuff that people be putting out just be way too much. It'd be way too much. No joke. Sorry, I was thirsty. Okay. Moving on. Peace and being single. There are true benefits to being single. And everybody loves to be in love, but sometimes love don't find everybody in the same ways that it finds others. So you got to peacefully get there. You got to take your time, tread lightly. Sometimes we do be rushing into situations that we should not be rushing into. People on the internet be too comfortable. Of course they do. That's why they do it. They're very comfortable. They know how to go on, and you almost extorting yourself to get some likes and views and comments. Is really really sad. But I think honestly, the more you share, the more people are less likely to either believe. Wait, she said, what did Trina say? Right, Amy? Crying on live with. Yes. I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like the get back comments. I didn't like Amy doing what she doing. I definitely didn't like Royce's response. I didn't like any of it. I just thought it was just like, it's a lot happening this weekend. It was a lot going on, and I get real claustrophobic when we be just acting like just be getting too stupid out here. Like it'd be too much. It'd be too rambunctious for me. But being single can be profoundly peaceful. It could be a profoundly peaceful experience, offering freedom, self-discovery, and the ability to live life on your own terms. And I think that everybody that has been in relationships and that have not had any single time or any time to have any time for just yourself, you have probably missed out on something important before getting into a very serious and critical and loving relationship, because a lot of times you don't know what you're stepping into. But then again, there are times when you are growing with people, because you think about this, people who've been together since they're 19, 20 years old, a lot of them still together now. I know people that graduated with me that have been together since they graduated high school, and they did that. They've been together. They've been holding on, doing their thing. And so with that, you got growing pains. You're going to go through your growing pains together. You're going to grow up together. So your experience may be different from somebody else who has to do it multiple times. You know what I'm saying? You might have to have that relationship to make you understand this relationship, to make you understand your final relationship. It's not always going to be the same way for everybody. You date and love differently. You have your interactions differently. You get your experiences differently. So when you're dating, when you're single, you have these times that you get to enjoy for yourself. You have the freedom and the autonomy, which means that being single allows individuals to make decisions based solely on their own preferences and needs. This autonomy can lead to a more peaceful and fulfilling life, free from the pressures and obligations that often accompany romantic relationships. Because and I think too, that's a lot of times why people end up being single for so long and they don't end up getting back in relationships, because you get too comfortable being single sometimes. Like, if you are looking for love and you want love in your life and you're hoping to find it again, you can't just be like, I'm not going to do the work. You still got to be doing the work. It's still a process. It don't happen overnight, but it's still a process. So have that self-discovery, have that self-time and those reflection, but also prepare yourself and still give yourself the opportunity to still be learning how to do the things that you weren't already prepared for in your previous relationship, because being open and able to receive certain differences from people is going to be what keeps you guys thriving in your relationship. Okay. So self-discovery is important, and your freedom and your autonomy all works hand in hand with that, because that self-discovery gives you the opportunity for personal growth and self-exploration. Control over time. When you're single, you have the freedom to manage your time as you wish, and this can lead to a more balanced and less stressful lifestyle, and it allows for relaxation and personal pursuits without the need to accommodate other people's schedules. It's huge to have to worry about somebody else all the time. So when you do have that time to be single, just take that time to focus on you, because babe, when you get back in your relationship, when you find that someone again that you want to spend that time with and want to build with, you cannot be thinking that you can go and live as a single person. You got to remember you're in a relationship now. So all of that, I don't have to tell anybody where I am and report my moves, or let them know what's going on this week and next week if things are changing from my normal schedule. Yes, you do. You have to do that. You have to continue giving that person the respect that they deserve from you in y'all relationship. Excuse me. You get to build stronger friendships when you're single. You're being single often allows for deeper connections with your friends and your family. With more time and emotional bandwidth, individuals can cultivate meaningful relationships that provide support and companionship. And you need that, because a lot of my friendships do form when I'm single, because more than likely, more than none, the friendships that I'm going to form when I'm in a relationship or friendships that we have formed together. So I do need to have my own friends. You know what I'm saying? I do need to have my own life. Because when I'm coming into this relationship, I'm bringing my friends in with me. I'm bringing my family in with me. And the same with your person. They're going to be bringing in people that you have no knowledge of. But those friends that y'all get to meet while y'all are dating, that's a different type of bond. What you had before is what you should have. You should have your own circle of friends. Less emotional vitality. Romantic relationships can bring emotional highs and lows. In contrast, singlehood can offer a more stable emotional environment, reducing stress and anxiety associated with relationship dynamics. Self-explanatory, but also you just don't have to do a whole lot of talking and being extra emotional and having days where you just be like, I don't want to see them. Or I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a couple today. Get all that out your system while you're single. Get all that out your system while you're single. Anybody got any suggestions or anything they want to bounce off the goodness of being single? What else is good about being single in y'all mind? Like, what are y'all doing as single people that's allowing y'all to express and grow amongst yourself? What's the positives that you have as a single person? Whew, that water is so good. I love me some water. Moving on. Calling the police. When is it okay to call the police when you're in a relationship, in your family relationships or anything? What's one of the most known reasons when we get the police involved? That is normally when violence occurs. So violent situations, yes, you know, you got to get the people involved if something is going on or whatever, and you can't, and it's uncontrollable, especially when you talk about guns and anything like that, or not just anything that's going to hurt somebody beyond just a fist fight or anything, because people fight in families. But there are very limited things that should allow authorities into your business as a couple or family, and that is for violent situations that are beyond your control. Like you got, and that's any area of violence, whether it be kidnapping children, trafficking, abuse, anything that's volatile, any area. That's why we always talk, and we speak highly of emotional control on this show. I'm big on that, knowing when and how to respond in certain situations. And people always say, you don't know how you're gonna respond till you in the situation. You don't know how you respond. You don't know. I do know how to respond. And only thing that's gonna have me different in a response is anything about something about death, somebody being murdered. That's the only emotion that I probably would get drastically out of control about. Checking in. Hello, Miss Candace Crumity. What's going on, lady? Thank you for checking in, and I appreciate you tapping in, Miss Lock by Strawberry. This is one of the best locticians in Tallahassee, Florida, y'all. Y'all make sure if y'all need any of your loctician services, you contact Miss Lock by Strawberry. Any and all times. Website is definitely Lock by Strawberry LLC. You can go to her Facebook page, her Instagram page, everything, all the handles, baby, all the handles. She is one of the best in town. I swear to God. Make sure y'all get at her. And yes, so now when you are in a relationship and you have to involve authorities, the relationship is over. I don't know. And the reason why I say what I say when I say that is because if you keep being in a relationship that already that has taken police involvement or authority involvement, you're toxic. You're toxic. Because if it was anything volatile that made you feel like you needed to call the police, that means that should have been over with at that moment. That relationship should end at that moment. We can't make excuses about violence. No, we're not doing that. We're not ever making excuses about violence. So if it gets physical and it get violent, it's over. So if you decide to keep the relationship going, knowing that it was violence in that situation, you're toxic. You like toxic stuff. You like dealing with toxic situations. You're toxic. If you stay, the police will constantly be called until someone goes to jail for a long time or someone is hurt or murdered. Keep authorities out of your business. Keep authorities out of your business, y'all. If it gets to that point, that's not your relationship. If you got to involve the authorities, it's not your relationship, because I'm telling you, once the police is involved, the relationship is supposed to be over. It's supposed to be over. It's supposed to be over. All right. That's our show, y'all. That's our Let's Talk About It show. That is our show. I told y'all quick and easy, but I also told y'all we were going to have key points. We got all those key points out. That's that. I agree. If you have to call the law, it's a wrap. Hello, Miss Rose. What's happening, Miss P? I hope everything is well with you. Thank you for tuning in, sweetheart. But yes, I do want y'all to remember that. So if y'all ever have to feel like you got to call the authorities, just go ahead and leave, get in your car and go somewhere else, or just never go back there. The relationship is a wrap. All right. Y'all be safe out there. Take good care of yourself. It's still Pisces season. By the time we come back next week, your girl will be a year older. But this is what I wanted to say this real quick before I got out of here. Let me go back up here real quick and get this point, because I saw this on TikTok, y'all, and y'all might think it's crazy, but I kind of see some truth in this a little bit. But it's Pisces season, and the next show I'll be a year older or a year wiser because I'm turning 44. But the girl on TikTok said, "You're not turning the age, you're completing an age." Did y'all see that? She said. She said, "You're not turning 44. We say it wrong. We say it backwards or something." And the reason why I see truth in that is because of the fact that we are in our parents' month and we've already been conceived we're already 9 months old when we really get out. That's what they're saying, y'all. So I don't know. Science says science. Science is science. Science is science. I'm just going by what the science said. The science says I'm not turning 44. I just completed 44 years already. So I'm really supposed to be turning 45. Yikes. I'm going to stick with turning 44. But I do agree scientific wise that makes a lot of sense if we've already been carried for 9 months. You know what I'm saying? This is what Yanni been telling me. A lot of it. See, look at it. And I don't know, maybe it was maybe it was a younger girl who said it, but I don't know. When she said that, I was like, when you think about it, it make a little sense. Tap in now. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. It's still Pisces season, Bookie. Still Pisces season. Y'all enjoy y'all evening. And make sure y'all get y'all some rest, because this retrograde been kicking my ass. Y'all have a good one now. Peace. Definitely agree. Never thought about it like that.
6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shelby's World Live taking off. Questions will be answered because the queen get it off. Unity is for the black and brown community. Conversation without scrutiny. Hey, we speak from a place of power, no coward. We just making sure the truth isn't overpowered. Black goddess, black queen, no in between. Radio podcast to the big screen. Her smile is everything, can light up a room. She say what she means, that's why we're in tune. Grown woman handles her biz like it is. Discipline, a role model for the kids. Nothing was given, everything she earned. She sat back and learned, and now it's her turn. So stop on by, comment, subscribe. Each and every Wednesday, SW Live.
Shelby's World